Once upon a time, deep inside a bright and colorful forest, there lived a clever little fox named Togo. Togo was known all over the forest for her shiny red fur, quick mind, and kind heart. She helped others find food, warned them when hunters came close, and always shared what she had. But Togo had one tiny secret. She was terribly afraid of thunderstorms. Whenever the sky turned dark and the clouds began to rumble, Togo would run and hide inside her cozy little den, covering her ears with her fluffy tail. One morning, the sun was shining and birds were singing. The forest looked like a dream, sparkling rivers, flowers dancing in the wind, and the sweet smell of fresh berries. Togo was walking down a path, humming a tune, and collecting wild fruits. Along the way, she met her friends, Bunny, the cheerful rabbit, Mimi, the playful monkey, and Gillu, the tiny squirrel with the bushiest tail in the forest. "Good morning, Togo," Gillu squeaked. "Good morning." Togo smiled. "It's a perfect day for an adventure, isn't it?" The friends spent hours playing, jumping across rocks, and chasing butterflies. The forest echoed with laughter and joy. But by afternoon, dark clouds began to roll in. The wind howled, bending the tall trees, and the smell of rain filled the air. "Oh no," whispered Togo, her ears twitching. "It's going to storm." All the animals hurried to their homes. Togo dashed to her den too, her heart pounding. Soon, the sky roared, boom. Thunder cracked like giant drums. Rain poured heavily, splashing across leaves and soil. Togo curled up in a corner, trembling. "I wish it would stop soon," she whispered. But suddenly, through the noise of the storm, she heard a tiny cry. "Help! Somebody, please help me." Togo's ears perked up. "That voice, it's Gillu," she gasped. Peeking outside, Togo saw something terrible. Gillu's nest had fallen from the tree. The rushing water from the rain had carried her toward the river. The little squirrel was clinging to a floating leaf, screaming for help. Togo's heart raced. "What do I do? The storm, the thunder." She looked up at the flashing sky, and then down at her frightened friend. For a moment, she felt frozen. But then, deep inside, a small voice whispered, "True courage isn't about being fearless, it's about helping others even when you are scared." Togo took a deep breath. "I can do this," she said firmly. She grabbed a long vine hanging from a nearby tree and ran toward the riverbank. The rain was cold and sharp, soaking her fur, but she didn't stop. "Hold on, Gillu," she shouted. "I'm coming." She tied one end of the vine around a rock and threw the other end toward Gillu. The little squirrel reached out with trembling paws and caught it. "Hold tight," cried Togo, pulling with all her strength. The current was strong, the wind was wild, but Togo didn't give up. Inch by inch, she pulled the vine until finally, splash! Gillu was safe on the riverbank, shivering but alive. "Togo, you saved me," Gillu whispered, hugging her tightly. Togo smiled, still panting. "You're my friend, Gillu. I couldn't let you go." As if the heavens heard her, the rain slowly stopped. The clouds drifted away, and a warm golden sunlight filled the forest. Birds began singing again, and a beautiful rainbow arched across the sky. Soon, all the animals came out of their homes, cheering and clapping their paws. "3 cheers for Togo," shouted Bunny. "Our brave fox," said Mimi, jumping with joy. Togo blushed and said softly, "I'm not brave because I wasn't scared. I'm brave because I chose to help, even though I was." Everyone nodded proudly. That day, the forest learned that true courage comes from kindness and love, not from the absence of fear. From then on, Togo was known as the hero of the forest. Gillu and Togo became inseparable friends. Every morning, they'd go on new adventures, discovering hidden waterfalls, helping other animals, and sometimes just sitting by the river, watching the reflection of the sky. Whenever Togo heard thunder after that, she would still feel a little scared, but she would also smile and remember that bravery lives in the heart. Moral of the story: courage isn't the absence of fear, It's the choice to do what's right, even when you're afraid.